my name is Lindsay Biggs. The community I'm interested in creating an innovation for is King County in Washington State. It includes many urban cities such as Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue. The population is almost evenly split between male and female. Though the majority of its population has achieved at least a high school diploma or its equivalent, there are more than a quarter of its citizens at or below the poverty line. About 20% of the total population is under the age of 18, and 40% of that population of youth is living at or below the poverty level. The median income for a family is $96,853. The median income for a single man is $63,747 without children, and $50,220 with children. The median income for a single woman is $54,839 without children, and $33,052 with children. The median housing cost within King County is roughly about $625,000. The majority of the population, 68.4%, is white or Caucasian, 14.5% identified as Asian, 6% identified as African American, and 4.1% identified as Hispanic Latino. There's not a very strong presence of Native Americans or Pacific Islanders represented in King County, and about 10% of the population has a disability, and 10% of the population of 5-year-olds and older have limited English proficiency. There were many things that stood out to me as I completed this community scan. First being that about 40% of the youth ages 18 and below are considered impoverished. This point interested me because my intended focus once I graduate is to work with students under the age of 18. It was startling to recognize how many young children are living in poverty. This fact was made much more apparent when I was looking for teenage programs. There were several different teenage programs available, most of them free, that offered a variety of mentoring programs, resources, classes, and even support groups. I was surprised to see, however, that there were very few early childhood centers or schools that offered scholarships, financial aid, or even discounts. The expense for childcare each month was not very affordable. The experience was interesting because there were several resources and programs so readily available, while others were almost completely non-existent. Unfortunately, the programs that appear to be missing are some of the ones that are so desperately needed the most. This process was very beneficial, though, because I felt a stronger connection to this county. I grew up in Washington State, however, I live north of this county, but my husband and I are considering moving to King County once we both graduate. And after completing this scan, I feel as if I have almost like an emotional connection to these people. I recognize some of the things that are off balance, and I feel like I have a stronger desire to make a necessary change. This process showed me how important empathy really is to a social enterprise. According to Gobble, social entrepreneurs, especially those that are human-centered, that use a human-centered design approach, develop a product or service by focusing first on the needs and experiences of real people, not hypothetical market segments, as a source of inspiration and insight. They can't establish an innovative product or service, though, until they develop empathy and understanding for their community. Without that integral part, their result will not be the same. This can be seen from the TED Talk by Emily Pilotin that we watched this week as well. The more her and her partner got to know the small town they were working in and eventually lived in, the greater desire they had to help the people living there. And in my opinion, the greater empathy developed by the social entrepreneur, the greater impact a community will have.